What's on your mind, Digby Scott?
Well, this morning I was going for my usual coffee, about 7 o'clock, bumped into a colleague, friend who we always kind of meet either at this little coffee shop near my place or just outside. We always happen to bump into each other there, and that's the only place we really see each other. And we always have a really powerful chat. And today it was like, I think he missed his train because we talked for 10 or 15 minutes. It was really good. And he works for a pretty large organisation, and he's sort of a bit of a change agent, change champions for the guy. And he was saying how he's going, there's this window of opportunity. And you and I have talked about this before, right? There's this window in which we can be transitioning and making change happen.
I've been using your platform 9 3/4 metaphor all over Wellington.
It's going to close down, isn't it?
Oh,
yeah, well, thank J.K. Rowling for that.
Thank you. Thanks, J.K.
You're all right. So we were talking about, in his organisation, there's this energy for change, right? There's this energy, and he's seeing actually all the troops, all the frontline people are super ready. Right? Like, we're back, right? We've had all these good ideas.
Yeah.
And he's actually seeing that a lot of the exec are also like, yeah, we've got a vision, we can see what needs to be different, we want to enable it. He's saying a lot of this senior leadership are like ready to go.
I'm waiting for the uh-oh.
Yeah, and the but is the bit in the middle.
The frozen middle.
Yeah, and this is a broad brush, of course, but he's saying there's this kind of fear, this palpable fear that's in the middle of all the middle managers who are like wanting to control and wanting to be able to direct and provide direction, but not really sure what the mandate is, and therefore they're kind of being like the blockers.
Yeah.
And again, apologies if you're a middle manager, and there is this dynamic that's at play that is not your fault. I reckon.
Thank you for I was about to go.
Yeah.
This is true, and it's not their fault.
It's not your fault. And it's, I think, to be able to zoom back out and go, okay, so if that's a natural dynamic and system that is at play, there's Barry Oshry has this idea of tops, middles and bottoms, and he talks about systems dynamics in that ways. And the middles are the middle managers, and they're often perceived as the blockers.
Yeah.
But really there's a whole lot of stuff at play that's going on. So I've been pondering that a little bit since 7 this morning. And
just since 7 o'clock.
Yeah, it's just kind of like drive up here and like, that's an interesting thing that's at play here.
Yeah.
And I reckon you want to be able to overcome that blocker now, because otherwise the opportunity to make more flexible work happen, whatever it is going to be a lot harder in, say, 6 months' time.
I could not agree more with that. And that frozen middle stuff, like I work a lot in
frozen
that space.
middle, that's a cool, we both do, right?
Yeah, that frozen middle spot where we're like, right, we have people that have all of this knowledge and potential and all of this expertise. They're directly leading all of the people that actually do the stuff. They're connected to the people that set the vision.
Yeah.
It's this amazing little bundle of potential. What's going on there?
Yeah.
And sometimes it's mandate, and sometimes it's clarity, and sometimes it's just basic business systems where they just simply don't have the delegations or the clarity to make it happen. But it's a problem.
Yeah, it is. It's the messy middle, right?
It's the messy
I like the
middle.
frozen middle, the messy middle.
Today's a
it's
mess.
shitty, right?
Yeah.
And I think what can you do if you're a senior leader? What do you do? If you're a person who's just waiting for direction, what can you do? And then if you are in the messy middle, how do you show up? And I think there's some stuff just about calling the dynamic, actually, that really is helpful. Like, so to be able to go, look, I feel stuck. I'm supposed to do this, but I'm waiting for you to do this, and can we just have a conversation about that?
Because that's part of it, isn't it? It's all those interdependencies. It's when you're operating in the middle, you generally have to cooperate across business units or across stakeholders or across agencies, and so nothing you do is just yours. There's nothing discrete. Everything's interdependent. And
then what's my role then?
What's my bit? And this isn't actually my budget. And is this a part? Is this out of my scope now? It's all like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, partly I also think, this is kind of going wide-ranging, but there's also an organisational design question here. It's like, why do we have hierarchies, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that so outmoded? What if we could have a different model? And I love this idea of Petri dish, right? And you've probably heard me talk about the Petri dishes. If you want to change the culture, you just seed it with some bacteria around the Petri dish, and then you let them grow, and you let them infect others.
Let them infect others?
I know, infect. It's kind of it's just a bit of a word, but I just kind of like infect, because it's like, well, it's actually more of the natural system that's at play. And how do you have maybe a hybrid of like hierarchy and petri dish sort of thing?
What I like about the petri dish analogy is I think what gets hard when we talk about people not doing what we want them to do. So if it's a senior leadership team going, God, it's just
Yeah,
the
why
tier
don't they
3s
get
and
it?
4s, why aren't they getting their shit together?
Yeah.
And you're like, well, hang on. Every time we approach a problem thinking people are stupid or evil, right? Why aren't they? There's an implication in there that it's a personal character failing, and that is so rare, right?
Yeah.
Most people
It's not, they're not bad people.
Assume positive intent.
Yeah,
Everyone's
exactly.
turning up at work trying to do a good job.
Yep.
So if instead you're like, well, here's my little problem. Here's my little petri dish. This is weird.
Yeah.
Some
How
of the things in here
fascinating.
aren't working together.
Yeah.
I wonder what that is. I
What's
wonder
that
what we'd have
about?
to shift. What's that about? Well, actually, this makes it hard. That makes it hard. They don't have the delegation. Actually, we're still meddling on operational stuff. There's no clarity over here. Well, these two
Yeah.
business units don't work together, and it's
Yeah,
that.
yeah, I love that. You know, there's something about, I read this one of the best books I've ever read is called The Art of Possibility by Ben Zander and Rosamund Zander, his wife or ex-wife. And
Shit, that didn't work out.
I think they're friends. Anyway.
Working
but-
together, is
but-
it a problem? Can.
So they talk about this idea in the book, The Art of Possibility. It's a great title. But one of the ideas is that when you come across something that is just not working or it's not like you expected, rather than go to judgment, go to
Yes.
curiosity. And,
Yes.
the word they use, or the phrase they use is, say, how fascinating. It's a little bit like, what's going on there? And so rather than
That's
go to,
interesting.
that's broken, they're bad, whatever, it's kind
Yeah.
of like, what's going on here? And I reckon there's that sort of question, how fascinating, allows us all to zoom out and go, let's look at the broader system that's creating this behaviour
When
or
in
this
doubt,
outcome.
zoom out.
Yeah.
All right, so I reckon that when we're looking at moving through transition and trying to make the most of possibility, it can be really frustrating when there's the sound of a wood chipper behind you. It can also be really frustrating when it feels as though there are parts of the system that are holding progress back. But rather than leaping to judgment or blame and operating from a place of why are they doing this, to me, maybe we zoom out and ask, why are they doing this? What is going on here? And how can we change our environment or the way that we think to make it possible for everybody to do their bit?
What she said.
Fucking
Good
wood
shit.
chipper. What is this shit?